Hello and Select. This is a third clip on your last chapter, that is Indian politics, trends and developments. In the second clip, I've explained about the National Front and the United Front government. In this clip, I'll be explaining about the UPA-I and II and the NDA-I, II, III and IV governments. We'll do the NDA and the UPA governments chronological wise. In that way, it'll be easier for us to understand as well as to remember better. Okay, so in that case, we'll first have to do the NDA-I and II, and then UPA-I and II, and finally NDA-III and IV with a gap of 2 terms each. Okay, so we'll first do the NDA-I and II governments. Now, we know that the United Front government collapsed due to the withdrawal of Congress support. Congress withdrew its support after I.K. Gujral, the then Prime Minister, refused to drop or remove the regional DMK party from the government after the DMK was linked by Jain Commission report to LTTE, responsible for the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi. So fresh elections were called in 1998, and in that election, again, no party or alliance got the required majority vote. All right. National Democratic Alliance, led by the BJP, which was formed in May 1998 as a coalition to contest the general elections, however, was the largest party. Okay, this means Congress, which was once the dominant party, has failed to win majority for 2 consecutive terms. So you can see the decline of Congress here. Anyway, NDA was an alliance of 14 parties, all right, including, as you can see in the chart that I've provided, the Samta Party, AIADMK, Shiv Sena, and etc. So the NDA alliance, they got 254 seats out of 545, and we know that the required majority vote is 273. Okay, so with outside support provided by the TDP or the Telugu Desam Party, it was able to get a slim majority. So Atal Bihari Vajpayee was made the Prime Minister, and this was his second Prime Ministership after his government of 13 days in 1996. However, this government didn't stay long. After 13 months, so you see the same number. Earlier it was 13 days. This time it is 13 months. Okay, so after 13 months, AIADMK, you can see over here, withdrew its vote, its support with 18 votes. Okay, it had 18 votes. So with the withdrawal of its support, the government collapsed. And it's quite interesting to know that during the vote of confidence, BJP lost by just 1 vote. Okay, so they just got 272 when the needed majority vote was 273. Okay, so fresh elections had to be held. And then, so in 1999 general elections, however, BJP led NDA won majority. And Vajpayee became the Prime Minister of India. Okay, and now this time the NDA government completed its full term of 5 years. So this election becomes important because since from this election, unlike the earlier unstable coalition governments, India has been seeing stable coalition governments. Okay, so 1999 election becomes important for India from the stable coalition government's point of view. Okay. Next, we have the United Progressive Alliances, here the 1 and 2. Now, after the completion of Vajpayee's government, fresh elections for the 14th Lok Sabha was held in 2004. Congress, after 8 years of gap, could come back to power. Okay, with its alliance, the UPA or the United Progressive Alliance, of course, which was led by Congress, and which was formed after the 2004 general election, and with external support from the parties, which you can see in the picture, such as Left Front, Samajwadi Party, etc., formed the government. Manmohan Singh, a very respected economist and who has also served as finance minister earlier, was made the prime minister. After completing their 14th Lok Sabha term, the Indian National Congress-led UPA government also won the consecutive election, that is the 15th Lok Sabha elections as well, with 322 votes. The UPA alliance was given outside support by few parties, which you can see in the table. You can also notice that although the total number of votes has reduced a little bit, however, the UPA votes has increased in the 2009 elections. So with this, Manmohan Singh became the first prime minister since Jawaharlal Nehru in 1962 to be re-elected after completing a full 5-year term. Okay, but then the UPA government, however, was linked with a number of scams such as coal scams, 2G spectrum scam, CWG scam, etc. So besides these, there was also high inflation problems, slow economy, lack of jobs, security and terrorism issues, which is said to be the cause for the loss of its position in the next election, that was the 2014 elections. All right. So then we have the NDA-III and IV governments starting from 2014 until now. The 2014 general election, now this is really interesting. First, it was the largest ever election in the world. Okay, there was an increase of over 1 million voters since the 2009 elections. The NDA alliance, consisting of 24 parties, led by the BJP, won with 336 votes. Narendra Modi became the prime minister. Second, if you look in the chart, you will see that BJP, amongst the alliance alone has got an absolute majority in the Lok Sabha with 282 votes. Remember, the required seats is 273. So for the first time after 30 years, a strong government, that also a non-Congress, with an absolute majority was formed. So this NDA-III coalition government led by BJP was different from its predecessors or earlier coalition governments. If you noticed, in the earlier coalition governments, which consisted of national as well as many regional parties, it was led by one of the national parties. However, this NDA-III was not only led by a national party, that is BJP, but the government was also dominated by BJP with its own absolute majority in the Lok Sabha. So that is why this was also called surplus majority coalition. Okay, so in that sense, a major transformation or a change could be seen in the nature of coalition politics. It has changed from one party-led coalition to one party-dominated coalition. All right, one party-led coalition. Before, earlier it was only led. Okay, so one party-led coalition to one party-dominated coalition. Now it is not only led, but it is also dominated by one party. Okay. Then finally we have the NDA-IV government. The latest Lok Sabha election was held last year, that is in 2019. So this was the 17th Lok Sabha elections, and once again BJP-led NDA won the elections. Although the alliance vote was 353, BJP on its own has won 303 seats here. Okay, the biggest number which any single party has won in the Lok Sabha elections since 1984. Okay, and because of the consecutive success or the dominance of one party, that is the BJP, in the elections, the social scientists have started equating the contemporary or the present party system with the BJP system. Now we know that the Congress system ended in 1989. That's when the coalition government started, right? And we can say that the BJP system started from 2014. So this is all about the NDA and the UPA governments. Now it's important for us to remember that we have been able to see stable coalition governments from 13th Lok Sabha elections. Okay, that is the NDA second government. Then we also saw a major change from the 2014 elections, that is the downfall of the Congress and appearance of a single party in the form of BJP to get absolute majority, which has led to the social scientists to term it as BJP system. Since BJP as an individual party has got absolute majority and all the other votes of its alliance is kind of extra, it is also known as surplus majority coalition. Okay, the votes of its alliance members being surplus. With this, we also see a change in the nature of coalition governments, in which coalition led by a party is changed to coalition dominated by a party. Okay, I hope that this video of mine has made it easy for you to understand the UPA and the NDA governments from the examination point of view. Until I see you in my next video, take care and bye-bye.